"The killer is Jake Henry," said lead astronaut Mark Archer. Everyone turned to look at Jake Henry, who stared back with a cocky expression. "You're prepared to pass judgment on me based on my criminal record?" I looked across at Doubter, who said she had known the killer, to see her already awaiting my gaze. I took from her confidence that she knew it had been Jake who was our killer. "I don't want to disappoint anyone," said Riley, "but doesn't he have a point? I mean, just because he got a record doesn't actually prove he did these killings." "No," said Archer, "but I'd rather not have a known serial killer running around my ship, so I'd be going straight away to the hold and will remain there under bars until we get to Mars." Noel Peterson, the only other crew member still left alive, took hold of Henry's arms and pushed him off into the direction of the hold. "You're all making the biggest mistake," said Jake Henry. "I'm going to kill every one of you. You hear me? Each and every one of you. You're dead. Dead." Before any of us could talk about the revelation that had been unveiled, a small explosion from the front of the ship sounded, and the capsule rocked sporadically. Mark Archer charged off to the front of the ship, and I dashed behind him, holding the sides of my flying coat. As I came upon the controls of the ship, one panel was sparkling, and flames raged below in a sealed area. Archer had hold of some kind of extinguisher, whilst he instructed me to take hold of the controls and level the capsule. I jumped into the seat and pulled the control lever, which was easier than it sounded. The capsule was being thrown from side to side, and to keep it level appeared nearly impossible, but I got it as close as my strength possibly could. Hours later, Patterson was suited up to go and repair the damage to the bottom part of the front end of the ship, which Archer felt was caused by a lump of rock or space debris. I, meanwhile, went and visited the hold area to see how Jake Henry was, but when I got there, he was fast asleep. I pondered how when a man is asleep, one could not tell anything about him, that one look at his body slowly breathing could never guess that he was a serial killer, whose main enjoyment in life was taking life. I went back to the main chamber, where I found the doctor sobbing. I tried to comfort him. He had formed an emotional link with his patient, Flint Jones, and tried to make him better, yet the designs of Jake Henry got the better of them both. "So what do you think of Jake Henry's threat?" said Doubter. "Maybe I should be asking you the question, seeing you seem to know so much." "I don't know what you mean." "You knew Jake was the killer." She smiled but gave no answer. She wasn't going to be brought out in the open, and yet the visible expression was genuine, with a person who had been accused of something and had been done so falsely. As we talked, Peterson entered the airlock area, and when it was pressurized he opened the door to the main chamber, but something was wrong. When he walked through, his suit looked bigger. He walked clumsily, as if he had put on some weight. His suit seemed to fill up, as it was going to burst. As he turned around to remove his helmet, we saw a large gash in the back of his suit, which was covered in some kind of black slimy substance, and his bare back could not be seen, and covered in some kind of black thin liquid. He seemed to struggle to remove his helmet. His arms were unable to reach above his shoulders. As we looked closer at the front of the suit, I swear I saw it move about, and then before I could point out my observation, the suit burst wide open, fabric flew everywhere, and the liquid flashed out onto the floor. My eyes were turned towards the liquid, which had a tinge of black, like the thin liquid on his suit. But it was primarily a red color, the color of blood, and within the liquid was bits of what looked like meat. Doubter put her arm tightly on mine, causing me to look up, and there, from the gaping hole in the front of his suit, the white tentacles came flaying out, waving to and fro. What was it that now stood in front of us, causing such terror in our hearts? Was Peterson still alive? Was this monster inside his body, or had it carved its way inside the suit, exiting the body through the gaping hole in the form of meat and liquid? Was that the leftover of the creature's meal that it had made of Peterson? Was this creature synthesizing with Peterson's body? Were these tentacles, which extended out further but still remained firm and horizontal, were they within Peterson's body? And what was behind the helmet? Was Peterson's agonizing face awaiting us in this cruel fate that awaited us all?